everyone. Green morning, green afternoon, green evening, and we extend a very hearty and a very warm welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the world. We have come a long way. Today is 859th webinar. That means tomorrow morning, when we hold the next session, it will be 860 webinars during this pandemic time. Ladies and gentlemen, lots of challenges, lots of difficulties, lots of problems. Many people, they have suffered heavily and they have suffered drastically. We understand the challenges are there. This pandemic has hit hard everybody so much that nobody knows how the future is going to be. It is so unpredictable at this point of time. Nobody can. And if anybody is trying to give you wild guesses, then let me share with you the 4 decades experience with this industry. Tourism, hospitality, and aviation. This golden triangle, like you talked, Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, they are so interlinked, and so many other industries are dependent on these 3 industries. So right from the beginning, the hardcore of this particular industry, when we talk about, it's going to be very, very unpredictable future. This COVID-19, when we talk about the outbreak, it has, it has basically presented unprecedented circumstances before the fragile tourism, hospitality, airlines, and its allied sectors across the entire globe. And the most difficult challenge and most important thing is your health issue. At this point of time, your mental wellness, your physical wellness, your spiritual wellness, your environmental wellness, you taking adequate precautions. And if you're mentally strong, your body will follow. Remember that. I remember Tim Grover, a very dear friend in United States. Uh, he was, when you talk about, he is one of the most outstanding coach. And you should remember, see it on the YouTube, who is Tim Grover. And then you will come to know that which particular basketball player became the world best player, and for years together. And when I talk about that, the Tim Grover always mentioned, we spend 99% time in the gym on our physical body, but we do not spend even 1% time on our mental fitness. Like your body, like your muscles, you give everything to your body. You got to give your mind also. And in this pandemic, in this coronavirus, the people who would be surviving would be the one, those are mentally robust. So ladies and gentlemen, this morning in Canada, in United States, in Latin America, and this afternoon in entire Europe, and this evening in India, neighboring countries, Central Asia, Middle East, all the universe, wherever our brothers and sisters are, there are approximately 31 million Indians abroad at this point of time, staying in different countries. We wish the entire Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, the global family, all of us, we should take care of our health and our wellness. We have got a very distinguished guest who is in the industry for last about 27 years, Mr. Vikas Malhotra. He was earlier in Dubai. Thereafter, he moved to Canada. He is joining us today, and he holds his specialization in travel, tourism, hospitality, aviation, and allied sectors together. Whenever you will listen to the youngsters or to the people those are in industry, you get to know the perspective and the right forum, what exactly we are passing through. So let me extend once again a warm welcome. Sunday, 25th of April, and the topic is very challenging. Topic is very difficult to handle. It is very fragile to handle. And the packaging which we will take out at the end of this particular program, what is the future of tourism? And when I talk about tourism, I'm talking about hospitality also. I'm talking about airlines also. And with that, associated shopping also, retail also, events also, food and beverages also, restaurant chains also, whatsoever you want to talk about, you can think of the entire ecosystem, the golden triangle, tourism, hospitality, and aviation. What would be the scenario post-COVID-19. Although September, October onward, things started turning better, things were very, very different. But now, once again, India is passing through very difficult times. A lot of challenges are there. And just a little while before, announcement is there that the lockdown in Delhi has been increased by another 1 week. There is a night curfew at many places, and a lot of states are having at present challenges. But well, we will overcome all that. We have to take that. During the lockdown, we understand your thought processes as they got affected, your business got affected, your physical and mental health got affected. The main part of the universe, education, also got deeply affected. 1.65 billion children away. And of course, services sector facing the acute challenges, that's the tourism, hospitality, airlines, and allied sectors. On behalf of International Chamber for Service Industry, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you and all our brothers and sisters and our advisors and our presidents, our patrons, and our research scholars. Those are joining from world over this program with us today, because it's early morning in Canada and in United States and in Latin America. I've got a lot of people joining us from different shores of Canada, East and West Coast. We have got similar wave from all the way New York to Los Angeles, California, in between Chicago and all. People are there from the Purdue University also, Woodbury University also. And then we have got people joining us from Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, and a couple of other countries. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you this evening. And before we take on what is going to be the future, let me extend a very warm welcome to Aarti, to Sakshi, to Uma Devi ji, and to Dilshan, and of course, I have got Avadh Narayan Dikshit ji and Arumugam ji, all these people, Shivani ji and Saurabh ji, and who else? Couple of other people. Repeated, Umaji, Artiji, Umaji, Artiji, Dilshan ji, Balkrishan ji, and of course, Sakshi Chauhan. Hearty welcome, pleasure to have all of you with us. Now, kindly keep posting your views over here. Today, we have got a very, very sensitive, very fragile, very important, futuristic, because in tourism, we will talk about what exactly we sell. We are the dream merchants, and tourism is the passport to peace, global peace when we talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever human mind can conceive and believe can achieve. Now, when I'm talking about tourism, hospitality, and aviation, and its allied sectors which are associated over here, today, when we will talk about this particular topic, whatever human mind can conceive, whatever idea comes to your mind, you are requested to post it on the YouTube GS Motivator. Share your vision, share your ideas, share your expertise, and maybe you never know about it, that your idea may become a global solution. It may become an Asian solution. It may become Indian solution, or it may become a regional or a state solution. You never know about it. So we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you, and our chamber extends a very warm welcome to Sri Vikas Malhotra ji, who is a tourism analyst joining us from Toronto, and he is at present in Canada. We are proud to have him, and he is associated with our chamber since its inception from 1994 onwards. We have seen him working day and night, working very hard, and taking his expertise, vision, and everything forward with regard to tourism, hospitality, aviation, and allied sectors, whatsoever we have got. So join me in extending a very warm welcome and a pleasure to have Mr. Vikas Malhotra ji with us from Toronto. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Green morning and great morning.
Morning, and good evening to everybody in India and whatever time zones they are in the world. So my regards and greetings to everybody.
Yes, yes.
And thank you for having me on this forum. And I've been following. It's very, very interesting. I learn a lot myself when I witness all of these great, distinguished speakers and different topics which comes into existence.
Thank you, Vikasji. That's your kindness, because when you put it across, now let me share with you and let me share from the heart. Last 4 decades, having deeply being associated with the tourism, hospitality, airlines, and its allied sectors, meeting, eating, greeting, when you talk about all the events which have been taking place, and outbound tourism, inbound tourism, domestic tourism, niche tourism, new ventures in tourism, so much of exploration. Our soul, our heart, our eyes, our vision, all that has seen when length and breadth we have traveled. And ladies and gentlemen, those are known to us. It's very kind of you. And those are meeting us for the first time on this platform today. I wish to share in a very humble way that coming from the armed forces background, I'm the first Indian Army officer as a major when I moved on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And along with our entire team, we had set up the Travel and Tourism Institution on ground for the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And there was a drafting with the entire team for the curriculum development for the MBA tourism in India. And if anybody can tell me, you get 1000 rupees award, which was the first university in India which started MBA tourism course. And I can tell you, question paper, I can leak only this much. It was in 1990. And thereafter, the second university was approximately 100 plus 50, 150, 175 kilometers away from that place. And that was the second university. And rest we will keep it secret, because kaun banega karodpati ka bhi pehla question is 1000 rupees only. So we start in a very humble way. And Ria, hearty welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. And some more people are joining. So Vikasji, kindly give us what exactly is the scenario at present when you are taking the global perspective. You are into aviation also, tourism also, dealing with the hospitality also. What is the ground reality in Canada? Because at present, India is passing through little difficult times as far as the corona pandemic. You may call it a muted virus, you may call it a second wave, or you may call it has come back again, or whatever is there. How is the situation over there in Canada?
So right now it is same as most of the places globally. It is at a lower dip right now. It is something which the aviation sector is facing. And when I say the word aviation, it is the tourism, whether it's outbound, inbound, and whatever kind of the tourism and the travel is there. It's only the non-essential travel is absolutely closed right now, but there is a lot of hope. There is a lot of there is the other side of the fence that everybody is having a feeling. Canada, especially, is a place which offers a lots and lots of tourism products, I will say, and because of that attraction, there is a lot of hope. There's a lot of positivity which is being sensed that this is just a temporary phase. It's going to get through. Yes, we are at a lowest dip of our curve right now, but after the lowest dip, it only goes higher. So we're just waiting for the rebound to happen. The government is trying its level best, and they're doing a wonderful job overall as well. Huge support to the aviation sector so that they just don't die down just like that. So they are being supported from all points financially, I will say, and from the operational point of view too. So yes, as I said, like it's a very temporary kind of a phase, and hopefully we should be able to see the rebound very soon.
Hmm.
And when the rebound will happen, it is absolutely going to be like floodgates. Everybody's feeling that sense. We speak to a lot of consumers on everyday basis, and the first question is, when can we get on the planes again? When can we get on to the um, the holiday mode again? When can we put that switch on? That's a very common question which we are facing right now. So everybody's really eager. So we're waiting for the other side to happen and floodgates open and everybody gets on board. with this sector back again.
Okay. Now, when I look at the size of the country like India, which is the second most populous country of the world, of course, we attracted, I mean, those figures are not very, very attractive when you talk about 11 million foreign tourists or something like that, and approximately 5 million non-resident Indian diaspora. They also traveled back home to meet their family, friends, and all. This is I'm talking about just before the corona. And when I talk about Indians traveling outside, that is almost 1.8 billion Indians traveled within the country, but 26 million traveled outside India. So you can well imagine that people visiting India are even less than the 50% the outbound traffic from India. And if I give you another figure, there are almost approximately 56,000 travel agents in India. There are approximately 10 lakh tourist transporters in India. There are approximately 1,20,000 tour operators in India. There are about 20,000 adventure tour operators in India. There are approximately 55,000 hospitality establishments, units, and more than there are 5.5 lakh Indian restaurants which are across spread. And the industry, when I talk about the employment, it's approximately somewhere about 4 crore people when we take into consideration. Now, all these statistics, when I'm taking into consideration, imagine what a huge challenge is there when approximately 4 crore people from a particular industry, and I'm not counting the people those were having otherwise, because let's take it in a hospitality. If the event is taking place, in that event, in that wedding, wo flower wala hai, decoration wala hai, and other people, those are providing raw material, finished product, other things over there in food and beverages and all that. And hotels also getting a good margin on their F&B services on the events. So when we are taking all that into considerations, how do you look at it, and how do you look at the total scenario? Now, cruises, when we talk about, I'm talking about not Indian cruises, but I'm talking about the outside cruises. I think they have got the biggest hit, because at present it's only aviation also is having challenges. And in between, we were thinking that the situation is improving, but now once again we are into a very, very difficult situation. So when you look at this entire scenario, what exactly is in your mind? How do you go by?
So when you say that there are different sectors all over the world, there are different kind of tourism branches, there are different kind of the professionalism, like if there's a destination wedding as an example, so there's a flower guy who's being involved, there's a venue, there's a F&B which is being involved. So there are a lot of connected sectors with one common aspect, which is the tourism to get a wedding organized. But there is one thing which is common in every kind of the sector, and that is we all are human beings. We all have a heart. We all got a mind. We all got a change. We all want to see and explore the world outside, not only just India or Canada or USA. They just want to go globally. I don't think so in my life and in most of everybody's life. If we are physically fit and hale and hearty, and if you ask anybody, hey, I would like to give you a free trip to Singapore, I'm just giving an example. I don't think so anybody's going to say no to that. Especially, of course, when I'm speaking about pre-pandemic situations, and now I'm anticipating the same, and I mean the same for the post as well. So there is one common, there is the core, and then it's like a nucleus. There's a core, and there are various divisions of those, there are various sectors of those, but that core is that we all would like to have a vacation, or we'd like to go out and explore other avenues. So excuse me. So yes, if we consider the airline industry and the tourism overall, the picture is that yes, all the other professions which are connected to it and are definitely going to get a positive effect if that happens, negative effect if it does not happen. And because of these, there is one it would define in one word, which is the employment. So anybody who's actually hosting it, whether it's the hotel which is hosting or the airlines hosting or the venue which is being hosted, I'm going to give the same example of a destination wedding. Everybody is getting employment who are involved as being the hosts. So tourism is a very, very broad word. It has a lot of other aspects to that as well. So this is basically what I would like to say, that I mean, like, this is, a very temporary phase, and we will be the other side of the fence in time to come.
Okay. But how much time it's likely to take place, nobody knows about it, to be very frank. Nobody knows. Because
I
how
agree.
long
Yeah.
this second wave will go on with us, how we are going to have this handling, because the challenges which are coming at this point of time, they are very severe. We got to take it from that. And I personally feel that the physical wellness and the mental wellness, that is something very important. Now, let's take something connected with this only. 1.65 billion children they are at present away from schools, colleges, universities, institution. 1.65 billion. That is the UNESCO's figure when I'm talking about, and I'm quoting. That's about almost 90% kids world over they are away at present from institutions. At the same time, the digital part, when you talk about, and prestigious institution, organizations world over, they are giving complimentary programs, courses, because they say that out of sight, out of mind. It shouldn't happen that people may forget them after some time. So to remain in limelight and to remain intact, they have to show their presence, and they're offering a lot of courses. And I somehow sometime look inside the amount of retrospect studies, research, browsing, and learning and free courses I have done during this COVID, I have never done in last 40 years. So thereby, when we are talking about youth, students, those were to join tourism, hospitality, aviation industry. Now they got to diversify. They got to look for the alternates, because they got to get into some other modes, and innovative thinking cap has to be put on by everybody. Traditional approach will not do. That is not going to happen. So do you have anything for the youngsters in your mind? Would you like to suggest something?
For sure. Thank you for asking that. I actually had a similar thing in my mind as well, and I did want to share, and this is a very good platform to share the same. This is actually an ideal time to get onto the free courses. There are lots and lots of being offered, and it is not only in one particular segment of the tourism industry. If you talk about aviation, there is, I mean, there are tons of them. Now, anybody who has an interest on a specific segment of this industry, it's the right time to get onto that, instead of, you know, I would not say the word wasting time, or, trying to utilize the time in the best possible way. Because once when the rebound happens, honestly speaking, we are not going to have time to do all of those now. And then what happens is, when you do a particular course, you're not only going to brush up your own skills, your enthusiasm in putting it into a practical shape when the right time is going to come is going to explode. You will get the motivation that this is what I've learned. I did not know this prior to this course. So really, this is absolutely the right time to utilize your time over there. And it's and I do want to come back to the cruise industry, which Dr. Saab, you actually mentioned about it. The cruise industry is is like a seesaw. The cruise industry is, now we are on the dip side, but we are slowly going to get there. And once when the seesaw starts playing, it's absolutely going to sail throughout the world. We do a lot of cruises from this part of the world. We do a lot to Alaska and to Europe and globe, and we have seen there's a huge demand for those. If you go to Google as an example, and if you say the world cruise in 2023 by Oceania Cruises is fully booked. People have already put down the deposits for that cruise because they can see this is, we do not want to leave a chance because, there's a planning which is being done in advance. Now that is connected to the kind of the courses that you will do. So let's say you're professionally engaged in this sector. If you brush up your skills by doing those kind of courses, or brushing up your skills, this is really, really a good time. And I would definitely suggest to all the youth right now, make use of this time. This is the time, and it's never, never going to come back.
Okay. Okay, great. Now comes the second part. In the thick of the pandemic, if you recall, the Honorable Prime Minister of India and Indian Cabinet on 29th of July 2020, last year, they announced the new education policy for India, which is going to be the game changer, because after 34 years, the new education policy is coming. There is no arts, there is no commerce, there is no science, there is no tight compartment. The science children can take music, the art students can take bio, the commerce students can take fashion designing, and right from the 6th class onward, the coding is also coming into schools. Children are going to enjoy basically the digital technology so well in the coming times. 10 days bagless visit also. Skills have been put into the education ecosystem also now. Now, when I'm looking at that entire thing, I just happened to discuss with a couple of research scholars in Europe, in Canada, as well as in United States, and of course, because maximum people Spanish speaking population in Latin America as well. When I talked to them, I said, the new education policy has come and 100 foreign institutions are coming on the Indian shore now. Would you like to come and study for your higher education in India? Now, if I talk about rest of the world, it's a different thing. But when I talked about Europe, Canada, and Latin America, the thought was, we have all facilities. We have got everything. The only thing what we require is what Robin Sharma talks from Canada early in the morning. That is 5 o'clock time he talks about. And that is, he says, spiritual quest, peace, inner peace. And that's why Satguruji calls it inner engineering. He uses the word inner engineering. So thereby, when I checked up with them and I told, would you like to come to India for higher studies? They told, Doc, if you're telling management, if you're talking about other subjects and all that, we personally feel that we have got adequate facilities right over here. We are very happy. But yes, we would like to come to India to understand wellness, not the kind of a wellness I'm talking about Thailand. It's a different wellness. It's a mental wellness. It's a spiritual wellness. It's a meditation wellness. It's a understanding and answering only one thing. Who am I? Who am I? मैं कौन हूं? मेरा अस्तित्व क्या है? मैं संसार में क्या कर रहा हूं? मैं किस लिए आया हूं? Can we link that spiritual education or spiritual degree program of India with tourism industry?
Yes, a very big yes. And I'm very, very happy, Dr. Saab, that you touched on this subject, because I would like to answer this question in part A and B and then combine A plus B, if you kindly allow me to. So part A is, when the NEP was announced by the government of India, we all got the news here too. And honestly, everybody over here who is from the Indian background has a huge broad smiles on our faces. Because we have studied in India, we know how the studies are there. I was on the ICSE board myself. And, we all know how the teachings are done, and due respect to that. But now we see them over here. Our kids are going through those kind of studies, exactly what NEP is on the lines of. My son, who is actually doing a specialization in strings program, he's in grade 11, and strings is to do with music. Now, there's a specialization in music And I never knew until unless we actually saw him, joining that kind of a program. And they lay a lot of emphasis that you do what you like to do. You're not forced upon. There is a huge practical aspect. And then NEP, as you said, coding is going to be started from grade 6 onwards. That is already being done over here, and it's excellent. Once when your foundation is clearly done and you develop a lot of interest, we are talking about those young hearts, small kids, school students. That is how they're going to grow for the rest of their life. And that impact is a huge impact. And one thing that I've learned from my studies in India, when I was studying in the aviation and the tourism industry myself as a student, which you will be also be able to recall, we had a lot of on the job trainings. We had a lot of practical way to learn things. We've done, the Auto Expo. We've done various other things as well on a global platform. How can I forget those wonderful and golden days? Because of those practical studies, it is still engraved in my mind, very, very fresh right now. And that experience is not like you're studying from a book. It's not like you have to mug up like a history lesson. Oh my God, tomorrow I've got an examination to give. Let me rattle this particular part. So that is the way the NEP has been announced. So we were all with very, very broad smiles, including myself. So hats off to the government of India to take that huge and a great step. And as I've been following you, I'm still on the party. As I've been following you and all these excellent webinars, one of the things that Dr. Saab, you had mentioned is about 100 scenic schools. Now, that is a program, that is a part, as I understand, of the NAP. I'm talking about the excellent vision which the government of India has shown in the education sector. So that part, I really like thank them, hats off to them, and super impressed. Now let's come to the part B of that is the mental wellness. We all talk about physical health. I got an injury, I've got a surgery upon me, but I think, and I'm very, very strong in that the mental wellness is equally important. If somebody's mentally well, he or she can absolutely grow into whatever the best human being that you can. Your mental wellness is you are steering in a car, which is your driving force. And that can absolutely either change you for good or put you really down, whatever sector it is. Now, when we talk about the mental wellness, let me just say from the North American point of view, India is right on the top. India is a highly respected country. People feel when it comes to mental wellness. Who am I? The spirituality, the Ayurveda, the specialization of all those. Like when we talk about yoga as an example, the birthplace of yoga is India. We all know that globally, and from there various components came out. So from that point of view, there is a lot of mental wellness which is like into the effect, and I think it's really, really good. Now
Wonderful.
let's go, yeah. Now let's go back to A plus B, which I was saying that in the part A I was talking about NEP, and in the part of B is I'm talking about the mental wellness. Imagine now I'm just going to display how A plus B are together as one fist. When you are teaching your kids a practical aspect of the studies and they actually are finding it very, very interesting, and they are motivated to attend those in the school or online, whichever platform they are on, what is happening is it's giving them happiness. Oh, I learned something new, and this is amazing. I didn't know that this happened. Now when that happiness goes in your mind, you are mentally boosted, your mental wellness goes higher, and the kids are going to grow into youth, into adults, into their own life with that kind of mental wellness. So it's like a ladder which is being grown up and up, and mental wellness is definitely playing a very, very important part. So I would say this is how A and B are to both the sides of the question that you had asked me are connected.
Great. So your health safety, your personal safety, your mental safety, your spiritual safety, and your utmost safety is the most important factor which everybody takes into consideration while traveling. If I if i give a free business class ticket to someone and say that we are giving you to travel to such and such place and there's a small incident of terrorism, nothing to worry, the guy would say, please keep the tickets with you only, we are not interested to go. Now there is a unknown fear, there is a unknown future. I'm not going to talk about the future, talk about the future shock book which came in 70s of the Alan Toffler, and thereafter a couple of things. So what I'm talking about is today. Now I will take one more keyword from what you have mentioned and you have narrated the entire thing. You talked about Ayurveda. Let me just package the whole thing. So the first part I have taken, that Ministry of Tourism, Government of India should work very closely with Ministry of Education, and let there be a small short-term programs being offered to children, and there should be a complete ecosystem should be developed so that by the time the children will pass out, they should be proud of it. It's not more outbound tourism, it's more how to get more inbound tourism to India, if I'm little selfish for India. Okay. Now coming to Ayurveda, during this pandemic, everybody is talking about your immunity got to be strong. You have to boost your immunity. And those of us who have missed it and those are watching this program, at present, you can go on GS Motivator YouTube channel, see the program, Indian Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. yesterday. Today is Sunday. I'm talking about Saturday. There was a Dr. Parmeshwar Arora. And Dr. Parmeshwar Arora, when he talked about, I think it's lying over here only, it's just next to me. Both the things are right over here. Yes. I wish to show, he told about the black pepper and he told about clove. Everybody uses इन मसालों को हम अपने खाने में यूज करते हैं, काली मिर्च और लौंग. What we talk black pepper and we talk clove. Now he told, if you consume 7 small black peppers every day, you can save yourself from corona. Secondly, during the entire day, whenever you feel like, just maybe one in the morning and one in the evening, you can put the clove. That also he told. Now the scientific he has to tell you. You can watch the video. You can go on GS Motivator. He also told what we use in our food quite a bit, otherwise also ajwain. He told 3 times during the day, if you take ajwain with the hot water, nothing can happen to you, nothing can touch you, you will not have any difficulty. Now, these are scientifically proved, which is given by the experts. And when I'm talking about it, let's talk about Ayurveda. My basic purpose was to talk about Ayurveda. When we are talking about Ayurveda, there are a lot of herbal plants in the northeast part of India. So that particular region can overcome and it can come up within no time if we make optimum use of that entire greenery and the green plants and the herbal plantation of northeast part of India. Secondly, this is the, because see, in every crisis there is an opportunity also. If one industry goes down, some other industry takes up, like Zoom, Microsoft, Google, Cisco, all these platforms, and particularly edtech platform, particularly technology, particular digital technology, particularly blended learning, outside learning, flip learning, whatever you want to talk about. So technology has taken the frontal seat in everything. If I talk about mental fitness, mental wellness, and physical wellness, don't you think it's a good, most appropriate time to package and put across the Ayurveda in a right perspective world over and taking all the clearances? And there could be Ayurvedic based tourism, because people would like to know which are the plants, what exactly are the seeds, where from this plant is grown, what temperature, what climatic condition, what are the ingredients, what is coming out from this soil, and this what we are utilizing, how does it boost our body, it keeps us energetic. It is like ikigai, and it is Okinawa of Japan, where people are more than 100 years old over there. Because you touched about your son, 11th class, they all sing, they enjoy music, and that is the integral part of their day-to-day life. And that's a beautiful place in Japan where most of the people are above 100 years of age. So, do you feel that Ayurveda tourism or Ayurveda based tourism related to wellness tourism is also a great opportunity if we put little more thought and we have little more startups? Maybe some of the travel agents and tour operators diversify to these areas.
I will give 100 out of 100 to that statement. Yes, a very big yes for that. And there is a lot of curiosity in this part of the world, and I get a very common question. Hey, India is known for the Ayurveda and all those kind of plants and herb, and like all those herbs and those specialization. And there is a lot of it again goes back to the mental wellness, that there's a lot of tourism, there's a lot of curiosity that we want to go and explore. We would like to see this, we would like to just know more and more about it. And because of that, it's it's a huge potential. And who doesn't, not that I'm saying about the small kids or something, in the adult life, 9 out of 10 will already know that Ayurveda word is basically, what does it talk about? What kind of a vision do you get in your brain as soon as you hear that word? Uh, I would say the potential is huge, and I would only say that all the tour operators, all the travel agents, at least I don't know personally whether everybody includes that as one of the tours in India or a specialization in India, but if not, this is definitely one of the sectors that they must be able to promote, because that is going to be a huge attraction for a lot of tourists who would like to know more about it, but they don't know how the means to get through that. So if we talk about the Indian inbound tourism industry, that has a scale of 10 out of 10 potential over there. It just has to be shown as the right direction globally to the world. I'm not going to only say about North America. You can go to any part of the world, New Zealand and Australia also, or even Southeast Asia. People do want to come to India, do want to know more about Ayurveda. And there is one more thing I would like to say. When the word Ayurveda or Ayurveda comes, it goes back. The image that everybody gets is the ancient India. So it is a tested, it is a successful kind of a process and a kind of a treatment, I would say. It is just not that somebody wake up one sunny day and say, hey, I've got a discovery done. It has been centuries and centuries of old. And then what comes with that word is also a beautiful, serene, classical, soft Indian music playing in the background. People already get that in their mind, and it results into a big, broad smile. And that is exactly what the Ayurveda the one word can actually change your whole, the mental state of the mind just by taking you over there. Then definitely it has a huge scope. And I would say that the travel agents in India or the tour operators in India should be able to include that. When I was in India, I was associated with a company in Delhi for a couple of weeks. And Dr. Saab, you will actually remember that there was a gentleman who was the owner of of that particular travel agency and the president, Mr. Goel. I cannot forget those days when I was a student myself, and when there was a time for the conference to take place, Ayurveda was one of the things. And then there was a call because he was the president of the Indian tour operators.
Yeah,
I do,
IATO, Indian Association of Tour Operators.
yes,
And
exactly.
that is
Now I'm
Subhash
speaking
Goelji. Subhash
Mr.
Goelji.
Goel. Yes.
Subhash
So
Goelji. Yeah.
now, when you use the word Ayurveda, so I actually recall that when I was a student over there, I was associated for a few weeks. And as you can also recall, so Mr. Goel actually said, I'm appealing to all the Indian tour operators, let's promote India not only from the mountains and the rivers and the beautiful landscapes, but also from the Ayurved point of view, which has a huge potential. Now that's going, I'm speaking almost like 25, 27 years ago that this actually happened. So as I said, that people like you who've traveled all over the world, people like Mr. Goyal, who has been associated with lots of tour operators all over the world, and associated with ICAO, which is International Civil, the
International
Tour
Civil
Operators
Aviation
Association.
Organization. Yeah.
Yes. So
Mm.
they are all linked, right?
Yes.
So because of all of those things, I think Ayurved has a huge potential.
Great. So over here, Ministry of Tourism should get closer to Ministry of Ayush and Ministry of Education, and we should work out a strategy as a golden triangle over there. I think that would be something very nice. When you talked about oldest civilization, something very interesting I just wish to share with our audience. There is one YouTube video which we all should see. It is a very short video for 4.5 minutes, and that is by Simon Sinek, Simon, Simon, and the second word is Sinek, Simon Sinek. He is one of the most popular inspirational speaker from United States, and he has got one video. The title is "Stop Idealizing Western Leadership." Oh, ho, ho. Stop idolizing, Idolizing, idolizing Western leadership. And American talking over there that look, we all in the Western countries have to pick up something from Eastern culture because they have an old civilization, they have their roots. So that is something which was going deep into my spine, and I was trying to remember Simon Sinek. So I thought, why not I should share with you right over here. So let's proceed, ladies and gentlemen. And two areas we have taken: spiritual, meditation, wellness, fitness, yoga, and now Ayurveda, herbal. Let me come on to another area. This morning we had the seventh program with Sri Manmohan Singh ji, who is the chairman of our Media Entertainment Sector Council. Along with him, we also had our country's Sector Skill Council Media Entertainment CEO, Mr. Mohit Soni. And he talked about the complete canvas, what all is available for children today by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, under the dynamic leadership of the present Prime Minister and the government. And there we were talking about, so Manmohan ji was giving his experiences that when he used to go with Yash Chopra ji for film shootings to Switzerland, and thereafter all the Punjabi films he has shot in Canada. And he was telling all the provinces in Canada, whether he is shooting in province 1 or province B or province C or province D, doesn't make a difference. Everybody is so supportive and they want cinematic tourism. So, what are your views and your take on cinematic tourism?
Thank you. Yes, the cinematic tourism is like a well, huge. It's deep. It's huge potential, and it's definitely very very well known. There are lots of because of the landscapes in this part of the country. There are lots of beautiful film locations which are being used by both Bollywood and Hollywood. And let me inform you, the area where I am, Bollywood is more popular than Hollywood because there's lots of background. And you go to the restaurants, you go to the street shows at times, you can hear Bollywood songs very easily. So I would definitely like to say that cinematic tourism has a huge potential over here, and it is being used. It is definitely being developed and used. And I definitely know that lots of Punjabi films have been filmed over here, especially when there are mountain ranges, when they want to show the farmlands. And I also want to share one more thing is that because it is not that the people from Punjab or other parts of India have come over here just recently. They are here for like decades. They are a huge factor to contribute to the economy over here. I was, the picture which you had actually put for me on this particular session is actually in that farmland, and I'm actually in a farm. The photo which you had just shown over there, like in this particular session, I was in a farm, and in my back, in my background, there are like cows and herds, and that farm is owned by a Punjabi gentleman. So there is a huge, there is a lot of population, and definitely I'm all check mark for the cinematic tourism over here too.
Great. So that's further linkages. Ministry of Tourism should think very seriously, along with the state governments, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting also, Government of India. Cinematic tourism is another area which can do, because it's a high spending tourism. And when one film is made, imagine how many people are being involved in that, how many people travel, how much transportation, how much infrastructure, what all equipment hiring is there, support artist is there, sound, light, backdrop, music, whatsoever you can think about, the stage setting and particular shot being taken. I think it has got a huge opportunity, economic, employment, and entrepreneurship together, even for the startups and all. Coming to fourth part, India still live in villages, and we should be proud of it, that historically, when we take into consideration, because when we talk about smart cities, why not to talk about smart villages? When we talk about our villages, why not to give them facelift, uplift, and create much better infrastructure over there only, and they don't lose their original identity and sanctity in which those villages have been brought up. Now, taking that into consideration, what do you need the most in life? Because if God meets me, I will tell him, can you make me 25 years old again? Because that is the wish you're going to talk if the God meets you. Nobody wants to grow old, and that is possible. Your biological clock may be moving, but you can maintain your body, you can maintain your voice, you can maintain yourself. It all depends on what you eat. So when I say what you eat, that means if you have an organic food. So let's talk about, if I am having a rural tourism, village tourism, farm tourism, nature tourism, flora and fauna tourism. I'm going to say, give the total ambience of the village, where the people are getting into the fields, they're plucking the vegetables at their own, whatsoever they want to eat. It is organic. They're bringing fresh to the kitchen, is being washed by them. They can do even cooking also, because they should know what they are eating. And when you eat that in a musical way, that organic food, ladies and gentlemen, take my words, you will not grow old. So what is your take on that, Vikasji?
This is great. Village settings reminds everybody of the word purity. There is a lot
Yeah,
of pure air. There is a lot of pure hospitality from the heart. You want to invite your guest. You don't. You think that everybody is a guest. Please come here. Please eat this. You want to sit on a charpai, and you want to be in an open air in the fields, eating your corn or sugarcane or whatever is it. That that is itself something which will live with you for years and years in your life. You may go to skyscrapers. Like I've been in Dubai, I've lived there for a few years, 7 to 8 years, and people who used to come there look at the buildings and skyscrapers and well, Dubai is great. I'm not saying it's not great, but the thing about it, it's very short-lived. You see, you have it in your mind, and now it's done. But when you go to a village setting, that is a very positive impact going to remain with you for years and years to come. Even even I was, and it's very coincidental, I was sharing with a friend of mine over here, and I told him, I really want to go to a village in India. My birthplace is India, and I'm brought up in India. But I really want to go back to the roots. I want to sit on a charpai and I want to bite that sugarcane myself. And you see that road going there. There's a but kids are playing in the fields. The cows are being herd. I mean, like there's a herd, the farming going on, and I really want to go and enjoy that part of life as well. Definitely, I would give a double check mark to that too.
So, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India should also liaison with Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India. And there are so many other ministries which can be involved, and it can be an integrated approach. Rural tourism, because mark my words, our chamber has done a lot of research. I sleep tourism, I get up tourism, I think tourism, I dream tourism, I enjoy tourism, and it is the most difficult subject today to share with Mr. Vikas Malhotra, the tourism analyst, because tourism is passing through difficult times, but it will bounce back with 2 times, 3 times, 4 times speed. These are very challenging times, but let me share with you, tourism is one industry. And when he talks about rural tourism, people do not want to come to India to stay in a 5-star, 7-star hotels unless they are coming for business or they are coming for a conference. They would like to see our rural interiors. So just imagine what Vikasji was telling, that you get up in an early morning in the village and you hear the birds chirping and you hear this different sounds of peacocks, and thereafter the sun is rising and that yellow lights which are coming on to you, and you're doing your yoga. Thereafter you are plucking some kind of a beautiful organic vegetables over there, and thereafter you are cooking and you're eating and you're doing your wonderful. You live healthy, you consume fresh oxygen, and you're happy person, something wonderful. So I'm grateful that we discussed about rural interiors of India also. Now coming to the next part. Yeah, you've got something to say. Yeah.
Yes, I apologize to interrupt you. I want to come back to the rural thing, the heading for one more second, if you allow me to. So in India, we all know the word Suraj Kund. Not that we all know the word. Most of us know the word Suraj Kund. Now Suraj Kund का मेला, Suraj Kund की जो settings है, जो उन्होंने artificially they have created a village environment, and how successful it is. We are getting Remo Fernandez for the shows. I'm talking pre-pandemic times. We are getting so much. It's an annual event which is being done. So Suraj Kund is only based upon the village settings, because those who cannot go into the actual villages, once in a year there is a chance for them to feel that kind of the atmosphere, how a village atmosphere would look like. So really, it has got a huge potential. And you said it right. People don't want to really go to India for 5-star hotels or the luxuries always. Those who want to experience the tourism part, they really want to go to the villages and live with the locals and experience the freshness uh, all the time. That's basically what they have in their mind too.
Thank you. Thank you. When you talked about Suraj Kund, let me just get back because I was waiting. Somebody may write, but you have not written. So thereby the question passes. The first university in India, that was in Haryana, Kurukshetra University in 1990, which started the MBA tourism. The Honorable Prime Minister, along with the Deputy Prime Minister, sent across me from the Ministry of Tourism. And I was told to go personally. Lieutenant General Balaramji used to be the Vice Chancellor there. I met him, discussed with him. Professor Divedi and one more professor, they were designated. And there was a separate tourism department which was set up in Kurukshetra University. And as I told you, 150, 160, 170, 180 kilometers away, that is the next destination is Shimla. That is Himachal University. And that was, if I recall, I want to say in the memory lane, I'm getting back, Vikasji, 15th of August, 1990, I was having lunch with Professor Malhotra, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Himachal University. And that was the second university where the MBA tourism course was started. and I signed the check. I signed the letter, gave to the vice chancellor on behalf of Ministry of Tourism, and they started. And thereafter, Jodhpur University, thereafter Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya University, and a couple of other institutions. Those have come into it. It's a beautiful journey. When I look back and when I let me come last 2 points very quickly, I'll take on. Religion plays very important role. Faith. I won't call it a religion, but I would call faith. People go all the way to Makkah. People go all the way to, the Christian people, they go to their own place. Similar way, people come to Golden Temple and people go to other places. Similar way, the Buddhist, they all want to see in their lifetime once Bodh Gaya. And they want to come to Bodh Gaya, which is in Bihar. And Bodh Gaya is a place, if we have a direct chartered flights coming to Bodh Gaya, now look at the scenario. The moment situation improves, the Bodh Gaya, can you imagine what kind of an infrastructure? Can we think of it? And I was talking the other day to the Secretary General of International Buddhist Confederation, Professor Dr. Dhammapiyaji, because we have done a series of about 30 episodes, 30 programs on Buddhist teachings in Indian education ecosystem. So when I was talking with him, if you have direct chartered flight comings to Bodh Gaya, people staying in the hotels over there, moving by surface transportation, rail transportation, or hiring a particular cab or whatsoever is there and going to Sarnath, going to Kushinagar, going to couple of other places wherever they want to, which are associated. Look at Tawang all the way. That is Tawang festival, which is in month of October. I think it is 20th to 27th of October, 1 week. Tawang festival. And in Delhi, you would be so happy to know, Vikasji, like Suraj Kund, there is a complete confluence of entire India is coming, where you will be able to see symbolic part of every state all the times at one place. And that is coming up over there. And Tawang Gate, which gets for Buddhism in Arunachal, is getting erected over there, coming up over there. So how do you look at, because can you imagine more than 500 million plus people are following Buddhism world over at present, and they would like to come to India. It's a sizable tourism, existing tourism, potential tourism, which is already there. Why not? We should take an advantage. What are your views on Buddhist tourism?
Uh, Faith is a very, very big driving force. And I can let you know one incident I cannot forget. When I went to Hong Kong for the first time, there was a Buddhist, there was a Gautam Buddha statue, which is in the outskirts of the town. And I actually had taken a cab 45 minutes to get down there. And I did not expect a lineup, and they take only limited entries in a day. So that basically I had to come back without witnessing that particular structure. So like that, there are lots of there are like globally people do want to go to like for their own faith, and Buddhist followers, I would say, they would definitely have always in their mind that they want to go to Gautam Buddha's birthplace. They want to see the Bodh Gaya. They want to see all of those areas. So that needs to be exploded all over the world, so that the government of India or the government of Bihar in this particular case can actually invite charter flights to whichever is the closest airport. There should be tour operators who can actually conduct tours based on this faith. And yes, potential is huge. It's like massive, because it is it is still an area which has never been up there. It is still an area which has not been talked about much. It is still an area which has a huge potential. And when you talk about faith, it hits your heart, it hits your mind. So people go all over the world. They travel in thousands and lakhs, and like just to go to their place of faith. And this is definitely a very good take. I would definitely say that it can be proposed to the government of the state, Bihar in this specific case, to have the flights chartered to the nearest airport, Patna, I guess. I'm not too sure about that.
Patna.
And then, make the ground arrangements to go to that particular birthplace, or, to
Bodh
that
Gaya.
specific place.
Ha,
Yeah,
ha.
both, both. Yeah. So it's really, really good, and has a huge potential.
Great. And finally, I'm a little selfish. I would like to talk about cultural heritage of Punjab, because a lot of people from Punjab have gone abroad, of course, for their pilgrimage. They come to Golden Temple, they come to other places. But Punjab has got a huge potential. Whether I talk about spiritual journey, all the Vedas were written in the northern part of India. Most of the gurus, when you talk about, they are from the northern part of India. This side, those have come when you talk about 10 gurus and you talk about Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And at the same time, if you talk about art, craft, culture, cuisine, dances, music, films, and bubbling with the energy all the time, hospitality, tell me, where do you see a langar culture which is there in Punjab? I think it originated from here. Where do you see chabils, where people uh, give a hand to you, stop your vehicle, request you, why don't you have a small, chabil, kind of water, sweet water or lassi or whatever is being given to you over there, sharbat. Now, all that when we talk about, and now Anandpur Sahib, a beautiful sound and light show. And I recall that our chamber had dedicated free of cost to Punjab government for the army, excuse me, the war museum which had come up at Ludhiana, and there was a hotel Amaltas next to that. There was a war museum, so we gave a free sound and light show over there, and that was Punjab's contribution towards India's freedom struggle. I hope they are playing it over there. It was given free of cost, complimentary to them. So I wish to share with you, how do you look at the cultural heritage and packaging of the entire Punjab? Because one of the study which we had done earlier, now we have done the case study on cinematic tourism, that if Punjab has a film city somewhere near Ropar, 40, 45 kilometers, 50 kilometers away from Chandigarh, you have got a Mohali airport, all people going over there, film shootings, music albums, TV serials, music songs, whatever you can shoot over there, and you can do it over there. And at the same time, let's look at the entire thing. Amritsar food. When people are coming for pilgrimage, they are also coming for. Can you imagine 35 varieties of kulchas? And early in the morning, nobody wants to cook in residence in Amritsar. People want to have that different varieties. Look at the jutti and parandi and other colorful things, what we have got from Patiala, and look at the heritage buildings. Why can't we package the entire thing in a way? What are your views on that? If there's a single window clearance for the entire film industry to come and do the shooting and cinematic tourism, and at the same time, from the world over, the cultural heritage of Punjab being displayed in that film city every evening, and audience are sitting. Imagine 30, 40,000 people are witnessing. You go to Wagah border to see that parade with Pakistan. Now, sometimes I look at it and I feel Pakistan basically, it's a part of India. I would say uh, we lost, we were chopped, and we sent across, and another country came up over there. But basically, it's a Punjabi culture. Why to have so much of that kind of a thing at the Wagah border? Why can't we develop a cinematic tourism film city where we can have 50,000 people sitting, and every evening there is a live performance by celebrities, singing, dancing, music, everything. And I can vouch for it. Punjabi music is so roaring and so beautiful. Even if somebody is feeling sleepy, he will get up from his sleep without cup of tea. So, what are your views on the cultural heritage part of tourism and our beautiful state called Punjab?
I I always get a big broad smile when I think about Punjab's culture and the music and the, you know, and like me, lots of my friends also get that as well, because it is a lot of enthusiasm which the Punjabis have, and not only just in the music industry, but also the culture wise. Punjab is super rich, super rich. You got a golden heart. They welcome guests like gods in their houses. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਓ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਾਓ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਰੋ, ਨਹੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਰੋਟੀ, ਨਹੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ. That kind of love which is being expressed is culturally throughout the state. I would definitely say that Punjab has a huge potential, and you know, the culture is being spread all over the world. Like we talk about langar, Canada Day, they celebrate every year in July 1st, and there is a langar in the celebration square for hundreds and thousands of people. They can come, enjoy, have free lunch, and then they can, you know, spend the time and go home. So, and it happens every single year in this part of the world also, and I'm sure it happens in areas like London and, you know, other parts of the world. Now, I remember, and I may be wrong, Dr. Saab, you'll be the right one to correct me if I'm wrong. There used to be flights from Amritsar to London. There used to be flights from Amritsar to Uzbekistan. There used to be flights. There were lots of flights. I'm talking about in 1990s. And that was a super good step by the government to promote the Punjab tourism. There was a lots of attempts being done. Chandigarh became an international airport, so that anybody who can come to, you know, to either side of the state, you know, they can actually get into the state and then, you know, visit the state. So there is a potential. It's very very big, and can be promoted all over the world. And I know that there has been lots of attempts by the government to promote the tourism over there in the state, but I think the government alone cannot do everything. The government needs assistance of the private sector also, like the Tour Operators Association or the Travel Agents Association, so that they can come on a common platform and promote the state. We always say government ne ye nahi kiya, wo nahi kiya, this is not right, this is not right. But question is, what have you done? So I think the people collectively of the state should also come and promote their own state. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, they don't make efforts. I'm sure there would be hundreds and thousands who would be doing those kind of efforts, but there is a lot of them who want to do something, but should be shown a direction that this is what you can do. Wonderful. Definitely a tick mark, definitely a broad smile when the word Punjab comes into place. And yes, who doesn't like good food? Who doesn't like the excellent taste and with all the yes. ingredients of love included in that too?
Yes. So you have a pilgrimage also, you have a culture also, you have a heritage also, you have a civilization also, you have a cuisine also, art, craft, everything together at one place. Now you touched very sensitive nerve when you talked about the flights, Uzbekistan and directly to London and all. Let me share with you with the complete responsibility. 26% of the revenue being generated by Indira Gandhi International Airport originates from Punjab and nearby places. If we have all those flights taking off from Mohali Airport, okay, fine. You find Amritsar little sensitive, too near to the border, all that. Why can't we have more flights from Mohali Airport? Why can't we have additional flights from here? 26% of the traffic which originates, and it's a monopoly, it's an interest of certain vested organizations, that if that money, if that revenue comes over here, can you imagine if somebody has to go and receive their family in the middle of the night? First of all, they travel by road, and route they have to have food, they have to buy some stuff. Then nighttime they have to stay in Delhi. Might be the flight is coming in the middle of the night, because most of the international flight timings when you take it's in the middle of the night. Then you got to perforce stay over there, and you pay for the hotel. Thereafter, you take some gas, your petrol, your diesel en route, you pay for that. You eat some food en route, you pay for that. You pay some toll taxes, you pay everything. All that revenue can be generated for the state of Punjab if we have those flights Can you imagine how much business, because international departure, international arrivals, shopping, and all that food and beverages and cuisine, and I don't want to talk because खाओ और पियो, मैं पियो की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ भी, खाओ की बात कर रहा हूँ, because the reason being the duty free shopping which you have got at the airport. Imagine, yeah, what kind of a business and shopping it has got. I think Punjab has got tremendous potential if Punjab focuses on number one, children are very fond of media entertainment industry, cinematic tourism. If we promote our cultural heritage and direct flights, we can do wonders. We can save a lot of revenue over there and all. So before we close the session, final word from your side to the younger generation, because a lot of youth have joined today. And if you wish, I can just read 3, 4 important, because a lot of people have put the comments. But Arumugam ji has written very informative and rewarding session. It is very unfortunate that second wave of the COVID-19 cripples the prosperity of the tourism. Craving for the return of the normalcy, let's bounce back. Absolutely. And Sakshi is writing practical knowledge, and somebody is writing empowering session. That's the beauty of living in our roots, is by Julie ma'am. And then we have got amazing session, very informative, innovative. Gurinder ji writing Calcutta University is answer for your question. No, it is Kurukshetra University. Okay, then what K for Calcutta, K for Kurukshetra. Okay, then comes Mamta ji, very informative session. We need more such sessions. Okay, great. Awadh Narayan Dikshit ji, thorough professional guidance. Yeah, thank you very much. And thereafter, we have got a couple of other professionals. Those are joining us. And online, I've got Mr. Kumar Baveja ji from Delhi, if you recall, a great veteran from the travel, tourism, and hospitality industry. So he's also joining on live to listen to my vocal cords on this particular webinar. So Vikas ji, final word from your side before we close today's session. And Kumar Baveja ji, pranam aapko, namaskar aapko. I should not call him Don because that is taken in a different language. He's the Don of tourism and Don of aviation because he rules. And the kind of wonderful t-shirt he is putting on, black color and with the white top. Yes, hearty welcome, sir. Pleasure. Thanks for joining us. Now, Vikas ji, final word from your side. What would you like to tell the youngsters? And when free courses, free programs, and all that is being, it is raining. It is raining. Whosoever can pick up whatsoever. Yeah. What would you like to tell the younger generation?
Definitely, I will. The first 3 words comes in my mind is don't waste time. Grab onto those courses, develop your skills. This is the time, and this is the time. This is an investment of your time, which is going to be fruitful when everything will rebound. And when it rebounds, you will not have time to go back for those learning things. Grab as much as knowledge which you can grab, and there is tons available online in whatever sector that you're interested in, the tourism or aviation or something. You just have to get online and get to those. Definitely that would be my very, very first and a topmost suggestion to the youth out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And all our brothers and sisters, those are in travel and tourism fraternity, we understand these are challenging times. These are difficult times. Government should come forward to do the hand holding, whatever best they can do. We got to diversify. We got to be having the new niche tourism. We got to have the creativity in tourism. We got to have innovation in tourism. We got to have collaboration with the new industries and the new corporate houses and the new ministries and the new people and new packaging which we have to do. That part is something very, very important. First of all, we do not know. There is a title called Fear of Unknown. We don't know when the COVID second wave is going to get over. We have no idea. Second part, something very interesting which we share over here is the key factor. Your safety and security is very important, which we have to take into consideration, because please take appropriate precautions during this COVID-19, wherever you are. And of course, spiritual tourism, wellness tourism, mental wellness, yoga, herbal tourism, cinematic tourism, Buddhist tourism, rural tourism, and cultural heritage tourism, and couple of other things which will be coming up in future. Our deepest gratitudes and thanks to Mr. Vikas Malhotra from Canada, who joined us this morning and gave his valuable time to us. And we look forward to have many more such sessions. I really had to gather a lot of courage to come on to tourism, because I personally feel that this is the most difficult subject to take on at this point of time, because tourism is very fragile. And at the same time, tourism is a passport to peace. Tourism is a passport to prosperity. Tourism is a passport to global collaboration and connectivity. So we got to wait for some more time, but at the same time, do not stop your innovation, your creativity. And as Vikas Malhotra ji told, grab as many courses you can which are free of cost. And his son is also in the 11th standard, blessings to him, who is having a music as a part of his education system. And yes, 1st of July, he told Canada Day, and that is the day the langars all around. So God bless all of us. Stay fit, stay fine. Green morning, green afternoon, green evening to everybody. And thank you very much, Vikas ji. Regards
Thank you very
to
much.
Priya ji, and lots of blessings to your children. And look forward to wonderful days ahead and many more such session. Maybe we can